Hello and welcome to the Michigan Senatorial Debate presented by NBC News. I'm your host for the night, Glenn Bourbon, and I'm joined by candidates Henry Reyes and Kamala Harris. Each candidate will be asked the same question with succeeding follow-ups. But first, they will have opening statements. Mr. Reyes, you may go first.
Thank you. Well, firstly, I'd like to thank the team here at NBC News and especially the moderator, Mr. Bourbon, for inviting me to attend this debate. At this debate, I, along with my opponent, will both share our policies and ideology as to who can make the great state of Michigan have better representation in Congress and dedicate our service to the Michiganders at home who face hardships and troubles due to the policy of this administration. In my second tenure in the Senate, where I proposed many acts to help my constituents, such as the Right to Work Act, the Global Accountability and Security Act, and etc. Never, and I just want to make this clear, never will I work with any other political action committee or influential figure to conduct politics that hurts my constituents. That's simply not an option. In the Senate, I held the reins as Senate Majority Leader, to which some great patriots have called the greatest tenure in some time. And during that tenure, I ensured to work with both sides of the aisle to get things done. And if my constituents of the great state of Michigan elect me to have a third tenure, I promise to instill those promises to not only make the Senate great, but also the state of Michigan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Reyes. I will now turn to candidate Harris for their opening statement. Alrighty, it seems that candidate Harris is experiencing some technical difficulties here, so uh, I will ask Mr. Reyes a question first while we get that figured out. Mr. Reyes, how do you feel your opponent's prior experience in political arenas will help or hurt them in their campaign?
Well, and this is all due respect to my opponent, but and I think my opponent's a great person. At least I think. I don't know what my opponent has done. I don't really know her that well, uh, but she's been respectful so far. Uh, Respectfully, my opponent has no experience at all. I mean, she was a representative. She resigned. She flip flops with names more than RUSA has revived, just back and forth, back and forth. And I don't think that's qualifiable uh, to serve as a senator. For to serve as a senator, where you have the key responsibility to propose bills and be the leading voice for your constituents, I don't like that. Doesn't make sense. We can have Kamala Harris in the Senate the first day, and then we can have Theodore Vitale the next day, or Muso Ali the next day. These are all character names that this person has taken. Uh, let's see what other names. When she left the server, Dr. Walden L. McLean copying a president's name. Uh, and all these other names, Dr. Frederick, I don't even know. But if you flip flop with names back and forth, I don't think that's qualifiable. Uh, at least in my opinion, my party's opinion, I have a great track record when it comes to representing in Congress. I don't think my opponent does at all. Yeah, that's with all due respect. Thank you.
Right. Well, do you think that your opponent's I guess I should say non-experience helps your campaign then?
Well, I'm superstitious about that topic, but it does make her an easier target if she has no qualifiable experience at all. And if I just may add an unrelated note, um, if you have if you have a D in your name, yeah, and you're running for midterms, chances are Democrats will endorse you. Doesn't matter what you do, or who you are. You could be the second coming of Michael Bennett or post impeachment. They'll still vote for you because you're a Democrat, and that's the only reason why I think people in the right mind will vote for her. So I think she's at a great disadvantage when it comes to experience that qualifies her to represent Michigan.
Right. Okay, well, that is certainly an all right, well, that is certainly an interesting point. We are gonna go on a quick break, and we will get right back to everything that, candidate Harris has to say, and I'm sure that our audience is going to love that. Thank you so much. We'll be right back. All right, everyone, welcome back to the Michigan senatorial debate hosted by me, Glenn Bourbon. We just heard from candidate Henry Reyes, and we have Kamala Harris right here. All right, so my my main question to Kamala Harris would be, how do you explain your prior experience, and how does it help or hurt your campaign?
Well, I was an former representative for the United States Senate. I was a nominee for Joint Chief of Staffs, and I was nominated for other roles. And I will say this, I have changed my name multiple times, but I don't believe that that is relevant because stated before yesterday night that I would not change my name anymore. And so for him to bring that up is quite irrelevant. And I just think it is alongside, what does D have to do with anything? My middle name is Devi. What does that have to do with anything regarding this Michigan election?
All right. Well, Kamala,
Can I get a rebuttal to
as
that? Can I get a rebuttal to that?
right as yes, you can get a 30-second rebuttal. Go ahead.
Thank you. This is really impressive, but the fact that my opponent here has to say that experience isn't relevant, that's like when you work at a job and you want to be you want to be a senior general manager at McDonald's, and you say, "Well, my prior experience is being a student at this high school." That's it. That's not experience. You need experience for a job. That's how that works in the real world. You need experience for a job. First off, I never mentioned anything about your middle name. I don't care. I don't care enough to know that. Uh, yeah, I'm
Right.
really impressed. Sounds a lot like Kamala, but they don't like. It does, experience matters. The fact that you say an experience doesn't matter is a slap in the face to Michiganders watching this debate right now. That's saying it's not relevant. It's sick.
Mm,
That's cruel.
okay.
If you can't stand up for your constituents without experience, how would you be able to serve? Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much, candidate Reyes. I will allow Kamala to rebut that for 30 seconds as well.
During my conversation, I have not once said that I was not qualified for this. I never said I had no experience. I've been an attorney general for California, and I've been a representative for Michigan. So I don't understand, when did I say I had no experience?
Alrighty. Thank you so much for that rebuttal. Candidate Harris, and we are going to move on to the next question. Do you believe your opponent will properly and effectively execute their office within the framework of a strategy befitting the American people? This will go out to Candidate Reyes first.
I think that really echoes my answer to the first question. Hell no.
Mhm.
Uh,
Okay.
I don't know. I'm getting words put out my mouth here that I said she had no experience. And if I may add, as a representative for Michigan's 4th district, you did nothing. And as Attorney General, you tried to prosecute me for a general chat conversation. So I don't know. It just seems to hear as you stand here running as a joke and you're Kamala LARPing. But nonetheless, I still take this seriously because I do fight always for my constituents at Michigan. But the answer, the simple answer here, one word, is no. I don't think that Miss Harris will be able to execute her office at all. At all. She might. It's. I'm going to use Jack White's example. It's like when he proposed this bill that would completely gut the entire healthcare system, and I said, "Do you want a piece of cheese in your refrigerator for the next 5 years? Uh, just to eat a slice of cheese. That's it. We don't know if this person's competent because they've done nothing competent. Uh, so the answer is no. Again, the answer is no.
All right. Same question will go to Candidate Harris. Do you believe that your opponent will properly and effectively execute the office in a strategy befitting the American people?
So for right now, there is not one active United States senator actively doing their job. By me saying this, I might receive backlash. But during my time here, every single U.S. senator has chatted in general chat. They haven't proposed bills, not even for it could be every week that you propose a bill. They have not suggested agendas to the secretary to the SOF for Senate sessions, and they have not actively. They don't have an agenda. They don't have plans to change, and it's going to be the same for Henry Ray's month. He was a representative before, and it was just the same. And once he gets this senator role, or if he even gets it, that is going to be the same thing. He's going to chat in general chat, do one bill out of his whole entire career, and then complain about other things.
Right. Okay. Well, do you believe that Henry is a bad candidate because he doesn't truly have a plan? And if that's the case, and can you give me some evidence to back that up?
Don't believe that he doesn't have a plan. I just think that his plan will be not executed, and I believe that his plan will be it's going to be messy at its best. It's not going to be good at all.
Wow. Okay. Um, Candidate Reyes, a 30-second rebuttal.
I really don't know what she said at the end of that sentence. I don't think she knows what she said either. But I, it's I was never a representative at all. Actually, I tried to get appointed with Mr. Biden, but I was never a representative. So you're just pulling information. Pardon my language. Or you're pulling information out of your ass, and that's not going to win you a debate. That's just a fact of life. You're not going to win debates. You're going to pull information out of your behind. And secondly, it's very ironic because I don't know how many times I have to sit here and get it through your head that I have served, and this isn't my opinion. This is every most Republicans say it, and some Democrats do that. I did a good job in the Senate, and especially as Senate Majority Leader. I didn't just propose one bill, and I don't know where you got one active senator from because I could name a lot right now. I could name Ricardo Vitale. I could have named Mike Callahan. I could name Tom Connors. I could name Shan North. I could name Jacob Vanderbilt. I could name all these people that are active. They're not just general chat warriors. they they do their job. They're great colleagues of mine. They do their job. So I don't want to hear, because not only do you say that, you insult not only you bringing false information, but you're insulting the credibility of several senators. It was several senators. Uh, but yeah, it's just there's a lot of irony com- coming out of my from the left side of my ear. There's a lot of irony coming into it. And if you want to debate as well, you should also turn off your Kamala voice changer, because I'm afraid it's not working. If you want to debate, even with that voice changer, I'm mopping the floor with you right now. It's just a fact.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, candidate Reyes. Now to the next question, and after this question, we'll go right to break. What are your desired committee assignments, and how do you plan to implement your agenda in those assignments?
Well, judiciary, foreign relations, those are my two favorite committees, and I'll tell you why. Because on the judiciary committee, I held the Caswell administration accountable. God bless Lucas Caswell's soul. Uh, I held his administration accountable by subpoenaing now President Rick McLean, uh, Leo Stone, and Justin Powers. I subpoenaed those people, and I took accountability. And if I get elected, I would love, I'd love to, I would love to take those assignments again. Judiciary and foreign relations are the most important. They're the most important committees in the entire Senate, and I think all senators would agree with me on that. You have so much responsibility and so much that you could do on those committees. Let's say, using them, let's say a Secretary of State is inactive, you could subpoena him, or you could push for a subpoena, or in the judiciary, the president's inactive, or does something ratchet or radical, you subpoena him. It has a lot of responsibility, and I held that responsibility before, and I can do it again.
Right. Thank you so much, candidate Reyes. Now to the next question, candidate Harris.
Main focus economic and job agendas and healthcare and social services. The ec- the
Those
economic
aren't
state.
committees.
You were saying, candidate Harris?
As I was saying, the economic and job agenda, it's not looking good, especially for Michigan. The Henry Reyes has said that I am not a part of Michigan and that I don't know anything about Michigan. But that's not true at all. I was born and raised and am currently residing in Michigan. So I think I know more about this than him. The economic state of Michigan, it's poor and it's concerning. The cost of groceries and utilities, including houses, is is rising rapidly. So I will be proposing bills to expand tax credits for working families and cap prescription drug prices.
All right. So does that include getting on the health committee? And if so, how do you plan on doing that in a majority red Senate? How does that work out for
The
you,
health
candidate
care
Harris?
and social services, the alongside the economic and jobs agenda, the healthcare and social services is rising. It's rising rapidly. So expanding access to affordable healthcare and mental health services really remain a top priority for me.
Right. Well, candidate Harris, respectfully, you did not answer my question. Do you plan on getting into a specific committee to make those changes happen? And how do you plan on making those changes happen in a majority red Senate? How does that work out for you, madam?
Well, I don't think I would be planning on joining a committee at this very moment. I'm more so interested in doing all of these things, it's not anyone in the Senate that resonates with Michigan like I can. So I don't think I would be joining a committee. And if I do, it's going to be with somebody that I trust and believe in for Michigan.
All right. So what I gather from that is that you will not be joining a committee, which is quite interesting. Um, Candidate Reyes, shifting over, how do you plan to work with the current administration to further extend the goals of the American people?
Well, I was waiting for this question for a while. So, in my opinion, at least in my private capacity, because I'm not speaking as a in a position, but this administration's policy is very progressive, socialist, and radical. I take, for example, DEI in the military instead of promoting merit-based hiring, uh, and these progressive policies and all that extra stuff. God knows, only God knows what the administration is also planning as well in the next month of this term. But uh, I, for as I said earlier, for the betterment of the American people, I can work in the Senate with this administration to advance not just a party agenda, but a agenda that helps America and my constituents. And also a rebuttal as well. I got word from one of my constituents. I'm gonna do my own fact check, but Miss Harris, the cap on drugs has already been made. Senator Jacob Vanderbilt spearheaded the efforts to pass the Medical Affordability Act of 2025. Uh, so I don't really know what you're talking about. And not serving on a committee is crazy. It's crazy. Uh, it's just it sounds like a whole lot of nothing. Uh, from what I'm hearing to my left, I'm hearing a whole lot of nothing. And
Right.
basically to summarize, I can work with the president and his administration to advance a agenda that benefits America, not the White House, in their interests.
Right. Thank you so much, Candidate Reyes. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break. Um, don't go anywhere. NBC will be right back. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and welcome back to the NBC Michigan senatorial debate. It is incredible to be with you, and I have one of our last questions here. My first question, I only think that this is fair since the last time that Senator or candidate Reyes rather gave the last answer. Now I'm going to ask candidate Harris. Pardon me. How do you plan to work with the current administration to further extend the goals of the American people?
Well, as most of you know, the president Walden McLean, he did endorse me. So I do
Hmm.
think that with his endorsement, we and the cabinet can both partner, especially the Secretary of Health and Human Services and Secretary of Treasury, can all work together to not only implement the economic and social agenda, but the Healthcare Affordability Act as well, because those are not my only priorities, but I have some more. But I do, but I, those are the most important ones that I do believe that can be implemented and will pass the Senate.
Hmm. All right. Well, I I do have, just one issue with that. I would like to fact check you on one of those points. I don't believe that he's endorsed you.
You can ask the President of the United States right now. He has endorsed me.
He has endorsed you. That's interesting. I'll have to get back to you on that, and I'll definitely circle back. But
Now, I
for a
will
quick
say
fact
this.
check, there is currently nothing on record that says that he endorsed you. So,
Yes,
also,
I will confirm that. Am I able to speak?
okay, well, I haven't seen any documentation of that, but NBC will absolutely check up on that, and we will release a succeeding news report. Anyways, to both candidates, I would like to ask, but first to candidate Reyes. In a recent Vogue interview, the Secretary of State Maitland said that she loves Henry Reyes. I would like to ask candidate Reyes, where do you go from here with your relationship with the Department of State after the termination of your employment by the president?
Well, it doesn't really affect me as I thought the president's a Lego position. It doesn't hurt me that it didn't hurt me that much. Uh, but I'm still in the I am still in the Department of State. Uh, regardless of that, I'm still in the Department of State. Uh, and that's pretty much it. Unless it was the second part of your question, I didn't hear it. So, Mr. Moderator.
Yes, I'm right here. I'm just taking some notes. All right. So for candidate Harris, how is your relationship with the Department of State and the Secretary of State in particular? When in a recent Vogue interview, they mentioned that they love candidate Reyes.
Beautiful.
Well, we all have our own opinions. So it's nothing disrespectful in that matter that I believe, in that message, I should say, that I believe I find offensive. Just as um, people have stated that they love me, I have no problem with that, with people loving another candidate or an opponent of mine, because we all have our opinions, we all like who we like. But I will say this, would you rather have a lackey in the Senate who will go just just like the current Senate, inactive, or would you like a candidate that is active, that will be active, and that will help America?
Rebuttal.
Wow.
I'd like a 30-second rebuttal
All
to that.
right. Yes, you may get a 30-second rebuttal.
I've never heard such bullshit. Excuse my language. Never heard such bullshit. Uh, di- if if you say the chamber of Congress you're running for is inactive, can you? I would love the explanation into why you're running against me. Then, are you a candidate that was put up by the DNC to beat me? Because if you are, you're horrible. You're really horrible. You have dodged every question in this debate. You have a voice changer. It's even worse. People in the polls who are Democrats who don't like me think I'm winning. And that's because, respectfully, I'm mopping the floor with you because you, for one, don't know how to debate. You will get killed out there in a Senate debate on a bill. You will get killed out there. And while I was in the Senate, people said I was the strongest debater.
Alrighty. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much to candidate Reyes for that 30-second rebuttal. We will be right back with more of the NBC Michigan senatorial debate. Thank you all. Welcome back to the NBC Michigan senatorial debate. I'm joined here by both of our candidates, but first I would like to thank a few people in particular for assisting in this live broadcast. First of all, my producer, someone who asked me to mention them, Ricardo Vitali, and then also Nathan Vitali. So yes, this is live and this is here. All right, thank you so much, everyone. And I would like to give an opportunity to both of the candidates for closing statements. First, I will start with Henry Reyes.
Well, as I said in my opening statement, I said we would share, me and Ms. Harris, our policy and ideologies who can make our great state of Michigan a better representation in Congress and who serves their constituents the best as possible. And over the course of this debate, I've realized that this opponent is, quite frankly, a horrible, unqualified, ratchet radical who was put up by the DNC and is going really bad right now. Uh, and this is going really bad. You're losing the polls on big numbers, and cider's on Devereux Live. Would you look at that? But I would just like to thank the moderators, Mr. Bourbon, and I'd like to thank the team at NBC News for organizing this debate. Uh, I I think the clear I think the clear answer to this debate is clear. It's a bipartisan decision. It's a decision you could use with common sense on who debated well and who debated bad. Uh, Economic and Social Services isn't a committee, and an agenda of Economic and Social Services is also not a committee. Saying you don't want to be in any committees is horrible. You have no powers or in any capacity as senator. You have nothing. You have nothing. With that committees, you have nothing. So the key takeaways from this debate is that you would be eaten for lunch at a hold on, give me 1 second. Give me one sec. All right. Uh the answer is very clear. I'm currently winning a debate poll by 92%. Big numbers. We got a lot of YouTubers watching. We got a lot of people, quite frankly. So that's my belief on that. But the choice is very clear. And I'd also as well like to point out my opponent. My opponent. Please excuse me while I look for the evidence again. Please excuse me. Uh Please excuse me for one moment. Quote in roleplay chat. Kicks and dick. End quote. Quote. I'd fuck my cellmate. End quote. Uh Let's see what else. Quote. Let's see what else. Comes up and shoots through the door 5 times. End quote. Quote. I'd go downstairs to get my gun. End quote. Let's see what else is there. I'm looking at these ratchet crimes. Uh, a quote. I'd shit in his face while smushing it in his face. End quote. These are all role play actions from my opponent. It's very
Well,
ironic that she talks about shit because she's been shit this entire debate. And this is no pun intended, but she's been horrible this entire debate. Uh, but yeah, the answer is very clear. My fellow Michiganders and my fellow Americans at those midterms, go to that ballot box, look at the paper, and circle in Henry Reyes. Because I not only have the experience, the skill, the qualifications, and the debate, example right here, to lead and to be an active senator just like I was before and pick up right where I left off. Uh, so thank you, and I yield. Thank you.
all right. Thank you so much, candidate Reyes. His message: go to that ballot box and make change. All right, candidate Harris, for your closing statements, and right after this, we'll have just one last question to wrap it up.
It's ironic to me that you quote things that has been voided. That is
They were
not on.
voided. You're not engaged.
It's
I
ironic.
hate to break it to you, but you're not engagement. I hate to break it.
Mr. Reyes, I'm talking. It's ironic that have you have quoted things that happened before the election and things that were voided. That is ironic that he continues to. And as a matter of fact, I have a whole photo. I believe I still have the photo of you saying you don't care about you don't care about Americans. So can you explain that to me?
I'd love. Oh, I would just love to explain that. Do I get to answer that, moderator? 30 seconds. Can I get
Sure,
into that?
sure,
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
now you have to resort to general chat to try and clog me back and your witty catch slogan that you use or Kamala uses in real life. But I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not working. It's not working at all. Because you want to go there, quite frankly, you want to go there, we can go there. Uh, but I don't even. I have lost so many brain cells just hearing this entire debate. I have lost so many brain cells. It is ridiculous. It is ratchet. It's radical. It's nasty that I've lost so many brain cells uh, over the course of this debate. And that's figurative, not literal. In case you want to use that against me. Uh, what are you talking about? You are hurting your campaign, if you can even call it that. Or you can just call yourself comedy. I mean, more and more, you're hurting yourself with these answers. So I'm gonna give you this. Go home, come back, go get a paper, get a pencil. Don't let the door hit you on the way out, and learn how to debate because you can't. You respectfully, you can't debate. You indecisive. You're quite frankly, you're stupid, and you're not going to represent the constituents of the great state of Michigan at all. Like I said, we could have a senator like Kamala Harris for Michigan, but then we're going to have senator like Theodore Vitale or senator like Mussolad Mussolini. These are all European names. Frederick Douglass, that was also one of your names, surprisingly. Walden L. McLean, also name. We can have all these names. They're so confusing. And about when you said in the opening, your not chief, your chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, that failed because you changed your character so much. You failed. You changed your name more than our USA has revived. It's a fact. It's a fact. It's a fact. Uh, but it's ridiculous. This is the choice cannot be any more clear than it is now. Can't be. But thank you, Mister Bourbon.
Mhm. All right. Thank you both for coming. And we have one final question to wrap it up. This is a question directly from the Secretary of Commerce. How will you work with the Secretary if elected to the Senate? Will you pursue a seat on the Commerce Committee? Will you do something and make possibly, you know, some sort of bill to work with him? How will you work with the Secretary of Commerce if you win your seat in the Senate? Henry?
Well, that's a great question, and yeah, I think this is going to be Kamala's best response because she said something about the economic and social services agenda. But I would most definitely help the Secretary of Commerce, regardless of how radical I think he is and how liberal he is. Um, I would more than gladly. And Ricardo Itali, my great friend, very good friend, is the chairman of the Federal Reserve, which is great. That's also stepped up in our economy and helping commerce. The FBI is working with the Department of Commerce and Labor about fraudulent businesses. That's another thing. Uh, I would be more than willing if it helps the American people and it helps our financial sector. To uh, I'd love to help. I'd love to help in any way that I could as a senator. Thank you.
All righty. Now, that same question to candidate Harris.
The Department of the Secretary of Commerce and the Department of Commerce and Labor, I find it the Secretary of Commerce, he's rebuilding the original department because as we all know, before he got elected, that the Department of Commerce, it was wacky. We had a Secretary of Commerce who was inactive. He didn't accept businesses, and the fact that he's not only accepting businesses, but not only doing things that can better implement the Department of Commerce, is would be an honor to work with him and help better businesses, help budget businesses, and not only help the tax cuts of businesses, because business taxes as a whole, it's sad that businesses have to pay that much. They get paid. I mean, they have to pay taxes 25, not even 25, but 50% of what they make goes into taxes, and that is not all right. And that is something that is going to happen. Tax cuts, they will only be able to pay 25% of their whole budget, not including personal budgets, but the business budget. They will have to pay 25% taxes because that 50% of taxes is honorably. It's disturbing. It really is. And might I Henry, who you said that you were working with, that you are going to work with the Senate, but I find that difficult because the Senate is currently inactive. Is it even open? I don't know. It probably isn't. So how are you going to work with the Senate unless you find one, maybe even one active member if you're lucky? How are you going to work with that one active person to help better the whole Congress? It's too many senators versus you two. So explain to me, how are you going to do that?
Candidate Reyes, a rebuttal.
Thank you. Quite frankly, where do I begin? You say that there's no Walden's. I just want to make this clear, Mr. McLean. It's not clocking to him. The president needs to read the room uh, on this debate. He should go back to the beginning. He'd take a bullet for any Democrat, let any Republican die. That's a metaphor. But you say that there's no active senators. There's more than one. I can name them: Tom Connors, Ricardo Vitale, Mike Callahan. Marcus Steele, Jacob Vanderbilt, Shannon North, all these people. Uh, and it, you've just said a whole lot of nothing during this debate. And there's people who unfortunately are still going to vote for you, like the president who is corrupted in his ways. Um, Now that's another topic for another day in another room. But I think, Miss Harris, you just need to read the room because, quite frankly, you've not been winning at all. You haven't been winning at all. Uh, so that's my response to that. You've been very ironic. And I said you've been deflecting questions. You've been hypocritical, and etc. You haven't been answering these questions at all. I have gotten DMs from Democrats that say that they're going to vote for me now because the floor is being mopped with you. And your only supporter is the president, who would support any Democrat for a penny, no matter how incompetent they are, because he loves looking at the letter D in the big numbers. You say one disagreement that you and the president have that I can notice. You say letter D doesn't matter or letter R doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. Common sense matters, but the president, I don't think he understands that. Uh, so that's one attribute that you have better than the president. I give that to you, but you're just not. And I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Um, you're not qualified, and you didn't win. I hate to break it to you, but you didn't win. So go back
As for,
home and get a pencil and learn how to debate.
I asked for a 30-second rebuttal.
Okay, a 30-second rebuttal before we end the debate.
That everything that you have just stated is ironic coming from someone. The reason Mike Callahan got banned is because you told him to advertise your server filled with 70%, not
And
even
that's a
70.
lie.
Oh, you admit, hey, Reyes, I'm talking. When I'm
That's great.
talking,
That's great. I
when
don't
when
care. Go
I'm
ahead. Continue
talking,
talking.
when I'm talking, you
You
need to
don't
shut
even
up.
know what you're
You
saying.
need
You are
you,
so incompetent.
what incompetent. That's you made a server with 90% Republicans, and you had
All right.
people.
Thank you. Thank you to both candidates. I'm sorry, candidate Harris, but your 30 seconds was up.
And I just want to get like
Thank
a
you so
one.
much, both of
I
you.
want to get one last, just one word. If you have a problem with that so much, you adopted the server tag, and that was Mike's prerogative, not mine. But go ahead. Thank you, Mr. Burton. Thank you for allowing me to be here.
All right. Absolutely. And to both the candidates, you guys did a fantastic job tonight. Everyone, please vote. Vote on the midterms. And in the future, you can watch The Today Show on NBC. I will be hosting, and there will be a celebrity guest next episode. So please enjoy that. Anyways, this is the end for the Michigan senatorial debate. I thank both candidates and I thank all voters. Thank you. A special thank you to the Speaker of the House, Nate Vitale and Ricardo Vitale, who said that this wasn't live, but as you can see, it is live. Thank you all, and God bless.